Welcome back, and you are tuned into the Nafisa Dango Show, where, of course, we're inspiring you this afternoon. And nothing better to kickstart the day with, in form of inspiration, is with Sister Rukshana Modan. And let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's a transformational mindset coach, an executive business coach, an international speaker, an empowerment speaker, and she also, of course, coaches kids. Rukshana's passion and purpose is to make a difference in the lives of those she meets. She loves empowering, uplifting, and training women and youth to be the best they can be. And her topic for today is mental health. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, Nafisa, and to all our listeners. I'm so glad to see you again, and I'm excited to be on your show. Jazakallah for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and of course, inspiring us in the direction of changing our mindset. And I think it's one of the most important things and most trending things that are happening as far as our mental well-being is concerned. So talk us through that today. Tell us about how we can take good care of our mental health, because a lot of the times the situation we find ourselves in actually affects us.
I think we did touch a little bit about it last week, the week before, sorry. Unfortunately, last week I wasn't available. So I think a lot of people have questioned what is the difference between a mental wellness and mental illness. And I think let us address that one today, because there is a huge shift between the two. So mental wellness is every single person should have mental wellness. It's how do we cope in life? How do we cope with stresses, traffic, like COVID right now? A lot of people are not earning money. Things are going wrong. So that is part of our life and things that we need to adjust to. Mental wellness is, you're driving in traffic, somebody cuts you off. And because you have all the stresses within yourself, it'll be how do you react to that person cutting you off in traffic? Would it allow you to just blow up into rage, or would it allow you to just be calm and cool and said, that person's having a bad day and I'm okay? And the one thing I've learned, I was listening to a very inspirational podcast the other day, and it brought back memories of my late mom, what she used to say. She always said, if you squeeze an orange, you can only get orange juice out of it. You'll never get coffee. You'll never get milk. You'll never get apple juice. If you squeeze orange, you'll get an orange juice coming out of it. So the exact same way as human beings, what is inside us, our internal, will allow you to react in that way. So if somebody cuts you off on the traffic, or somebody jumps in front of you in a queue, or somebody disrespects you and you explode, it's because your mental wellness, not mental illness. Mental wellness means you're just very stressed out. You're not sleeping well. You're not maintaining your serotonin levels. So you don't react well. If there's anger inside of you and somebody does you wrong, you're going to go out with anger. If you are miserable inside and you always, they say the best way to understand how to grow your child up is if you grow them up with criticism. They don't know anything better. They will criticize everybody. You grow them up lovingly. They will only give you love because they don't know anything else. Children, we as human beings are not born with hatred within us. We're not born with being mean. We don't know how to bully. We don't know how to fight. But as life goes on, we learn to pick up these habits. And what actually happens is that's how we react. And I think the scary part for me is more and more teenagers are battling with their mental wellness. I was on the road the other day and I saw a youngster. He could not have been more than 18 or 19, and he pulled out a bat from the car, not realizing that he could have got hurt so badly. And upon stopping, I just thought to myself, somebody needs to intervene. This little boy is going to get himself into so much of problems. The adult that he was actually obviously attacking and swearing, shouting, he realized when I took him aside and I said to him, what is going on, only to find out he lost his job. Things are bad at home. He feels like a failure. He doesn't feel like he's contributing in his home. So he's lashing out at everybody and anything. So there's always something within a person. So that's why if somebody cuts you off, if somebody cuts you on the line, I'm not saying you need to be a weakling in life, but you need to just put yourself in that person's state and say, what internal factor is affecting that person that I am going to be that catalyst that presses the button and they explode. You
So
understand?
how do
So
you deal
mental
with that?
balance.
How do you actually, sometimes you find, like you were saying, people are in these situations, and eventually that sense of frustration comes out in many other directions as opposed to having to deal with it yourself. Inevitably, like you said, it's in the traffic, or of course it could be at home with someone you love, or with someone you come into contact with as such. How does one deal with that?
For myself, if I leave my home, I'm a very calm person. I wasn't always. I was very temperamental. If I'd go in, somebody jumps in front of me on the queue, I would want to show them that they've made a mistake and I want to fix the world. And, I was very judgmental on bad behavior. And I think through my transformational journey of life, I've realized that, I don't know if you've heard this saying, and I say to my kids, I say to the guys I coach, I always say sometimes just tell yourself, not my monkey, not my circus. It's not your business.
Yeah.
It's not your business that you need to go and interfere with other people. It's not your business to be too noticeable. Don't notice other people. Don't go and pick on other people. If somebody said the wrong word, tell yourself, you know what? I choose my battles wisely. I'm not going to be picking on stupid things. And that's how you
Right.
frustrate yourself. There
True.
are battles in life we have to face. Facing our battles is our health. It's our financial situation. It's our families, our children. Mind your own business and worry about those things. When you go out and you want to fix everybody else and you want to fix the banking system and you want to fix the road rage it's not going to work for you. Those kind of things is for you internally. If you are that person that reacts and quick, you need to count at 90 seconds and say, how am I going to react? And you just breathe. Somebody cuts me off and I'm like, oh my gosh, you could have almost killed me. And then I just drive and I'm like, you know what? He's having a bad day. I wish him love. I wish him light. I wish him good on that road. He doesn't need to hurt somebody else. So I'm not going to go after him. I'm not going to attack him. I'm not going to want to show him on the road that, he's done wrong. And I think that's where a lot of our problems come about, is where people are getting frustrated to a level where they're not getting good customer service. They're not getting good responses when they are good, being nice, they're being kind, they're being courteous. People are being rude. And you just need to tell yourself that whatever is internally affecting that person, I'm not going to be the person that's going to bring it upon myself. Why do you need all that misery, frustration, wasting beautiful energy on that fight? So I asked myself, is it worth it? Anything that I'm going to react. And mind you, Nafisa, a lot of people ask me, do I get angry? Yes, definitely. I have a bad temper. Do I get upset? Yes, definitely. But how long do I get upset?
And to what extent, of course, Rukshana, because a lot of the times you can't control that anger. It's how you manage it and how you deal with it. I mean, of course, we are human beings after all. We are going to get angry. We are going to get upset. We're going to find ourselves in situations that we're not happy with. But of course, it's having to deal with it. But there's a way in which you deal with it. So that's what we need you to talk us through this afternoon.
I think, I'll start with the woman in the house always for me, because I find that is very, very stressful. And I have more and more women today complaining that I'm not appreciated. I mop the floor. Everybody's walking over the floor. I just wash the dishes. The sink is full. And that builds up that frustration of there's no gratitude. I just gave you a meal. You're not grateful because I'm cooking the second meal, because our times have changed now because of COVID, and we might be heading for a second lockdown again. So the situation of being inside, being trapped, having these people that we're taking care of now, and we're all in close proximity, working from home, sharing tables. I mean, I know my son's studying from home. I have to tell him, work our schedules to say, listen, I'm going to be on radio. You cannot have your class loud. So you need to earphone at that particular time. So I've got a plan. And it frustrates me at times, because when I'm now about to go on radio, he's all of a sudden needing a cup of tea. So the situation where I chose to use, my network is closer to my kitchen, and I've had to make that my office. He now needs a coffee. So the frustration levels come. So now I've had to breathe and say, do I need to get frustrated, or do I need to plan better? So what I'd say is, 1:45, before I get onto radio, I plan it properly and say, listen, do you need anything from the kitchen? Do you need to open the taps? Do you need some coffee? What do you need? Reminder, because I don't want you in my space for that time. So before, it would be like, when I'm done, I'd be like, didn't you think about it? That kettle disturbed me. I couldn't stop, And then I had to say, okay, let me let him understand my situation, that all the surrounding noises do pick up and it comes into the mic. You understand? When I'm on the road as well, I tend to learn to leave 10 to 15 minutes earlier, although I plan well, to say whatever eventuality is going to happen on the road. I put on my music, I put on Salam Media, I choose my different radio channel, and then I travel and I leave my home with the intention that I'm not going to be caught up in this road maniac, bad behavior way. So I drive my normal speed. I'm not rushing to my next meeting. If there's eventuality of a roadblock, a car accident, I am taking my time out to get there. So plan better. That road rage comes about where you're not planning, you're panicking. I'm going to be late. Things are not going right for me. Rushing to the store. Plan better. So everything that you do that affects your mental wellness comes from within. Everything. If you didn't exercise for that day, your serotonin levels didn't rise. Somebody might be teasing you and say, oh, today you look a bit chubby. Joke. It was only a joke. And you go, what the hell do you mean? And you explode. And, I'm working so hard. I don't need to hear this right now. So you're going to react to something that your internal environment is not yet secure. So I always say, put on your armor. The same way we brush teeth in the morning, we shower. You got to put on cream because the body will get dry. You got to put on your clothing. You got to make sure you got on sunscreen. The same way you prep your body to leave the home, you need to prep your mind. You need to prep your body. You need to prep your spirit and even your wellness. What you eat in the morning can make a difference. Are you taking something like dates? Are you taking something like almonds that's going to keep you focused? Are you having something heavy that now you're bulky, you're sitting in stress level now? I'm in traffic, I'm feeling uncomfortable. So everything you do is about your mental wellness. We wake up in the morning, do some stretch exercises. No matter, everybody says, I'm late in the morning, I can never do it. If you don't start that process, you can never say, I'm going to go meet a client, I'm not brushing my teeth today, I'm late. You're going to brush your teeth no matter what happens. So you need to make sure that you're doing 10 to 15 minutes, some form of exercise, stretch, jump on the spot, star jump, something to raise your temperature in your body, to raise your adrenaline, to raise that serotonin levels within your body. So you armor to say, if somebody's just going to give me an irritation, I got to feel good in me. I feel good about myself, and set intention. When you set out your intention to say, okay, I'm going to do this, there might be eventuality that something will go wrong. Then you don't react where you're going to go and blow up and make yourself go mad. You understand? So I think how we prepare ourselves for things that happen. And remember, the more you get frustrated is because you want to have control. You're not in control of your children. You're not in control of planning with the family. You're not in control of traffic. The environment within yourself becomes very toxic when you want to control how your wife is cooking, and when you want to control how the children are playing, and when you want to control who's driving. That control maniac thinking actually gives you misery. You are not in control of anybody. You understand? Right. You just need to say, I'm in control of myself. I'm in control of how I react. I'm in control of me, that I can become healthier, sleeping well, exercising, taking the right vitamins for my body. I'm getting older, so I'm more crankier. What can I do to up my beat? What can I do to change?
Sister Rukshana, are you still on the line? No, we seem to have lost her, but she was really definitely giving us some good food for thought, and it's about being able to look after our own mental well-being by actually getting up in the morning, as she was saying, and reflecting on ourselves and doing just a little bit of exercise and trying to plan our day better. I think where the frustration levels come in is always when we in this rush and we haven't planned our day out properly, or something else happens that's an unforeseen circumstance, we don't deal with it very well. So I think that got us going on another level. We want to thank her for joining us this afternoon. We're just going to go for a quick break, and we're going to see if we can get her back on the line. Okay, so there we go. She's back on the line again. Sister Rukshana?
Back again. I'm sorry about that. It doesn't want to take me back into spring.
That's fine. I think now we've learned to deal with mental well-being from that particular aspect of the frustration of the signals going up and down all the time. But I think that's fine. That's I think taught us a lesson to say that sometimes these things happen and we have to deal with the little hiccups of life. I think that's taught us a valuable lesson this afternoon.
Okay, so just to continue, because we're almost done, just so that you understand, we need to just go through the process of firstly understanding and accepting our own limitations. The most important part is, yes, we cannot do everything. Yes, we're not going to cope for the day. And then when you accept that, yes, I might have limitations for the day, things might go wrong for the day, things will happen that is beyond my control, and it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you start having a more positive day. Your mental wellness becomes easier for you.
That's so true.
I mean, Nafisa, this is being Mental Wellness Month. It goes to show there's so many people out there battling, saying, I'm not coping, I'm not being a good mama, being good at work, I'm jarring my system. Sometimes you just got to pat your back and say, you know what, I'm coping. I still make sure that my family's eating. I'm still trying to work, even although it's from remote. I'm still, start giving that thanks. The gratitude is very important the small things you are getting right. Yes, some of the things are going to fall apart, some things are not going to work. But you need to be grateful for those things that are going to work.
I so agree with you. I mean, I think affirmation is the most important thing. If we can affirm ourselves about the positive things we are doing as opposed to looking at the negatives, we'll be able to actually deal with things better in our day and in our lives.
Definitely. I think, that's where when we become hard on ourselves, when we start berating ourselves, we start getting the negative stuff and say, oh, gosh, I feel so stupid. I didn't manage to do this. Oh my gosh, I didn't plan properly for this. This went wrong. When you start doing that to yourself, you already start poisoning your system. Your internal dialogue is already hurting the environment. So you need to be very careful. Your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul is a garden. And you need to be careful if you're going to be throwing in toxic weeds, poison. You need to give it loving.
Yes.
You need to be loving to yourself and say, today I didn't do 8 things I set out to do. I'm so grateful I did 7. The other one, I'll get you tomorrow. Stop being hard on yourself. Stop having this high expectations of yourself, and then you set yourself up for failure. And then you start becoming depressed. You start becoming angry. You start becoming mean towards yourself, where you say, gosh, I'm not coping. I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good dad. I'm not providing. I'm not coping. I'm procrastinating. No. Life has changed for everybody. For me including. I mean, so many people that listen to your show have written into me and say, Rukshana, teach me how to be like you, without a temper, without. And I laugh. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm a single mom. I have 2 boys. My one child is in China. The other one is here. He's busy studying. I cope with my daily life. And if I don't put my armor on in the morning, if I don't exercise, if I don't feed myself the right food, if I don't reach out and have support groups that I can say that I'm feeling good, I'm feeling positive, I'm feeling love. If I forget gratitude and my power affirmations within myself in the morning, say, you know what? I am an amazing human being. If I don't tell myself that, who's going to? I need to tell myself that I'm doing an awesome job with my son, that I fit in making sure that I'm not a person that really likes house cleaning. But because we've had to adjust, I've had to start cooperating an hour here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes there of cleaning. I've become a good juggler at cooking, cleaning, busy doing my projects, setting up my team, doing my workshops, getting onto the radio. And I have to say, shukr. When I sleep nighttime, I give my gratitude to say, I finally managed to get to my bed, accomplishing so much for the day. I think we just need to being hard on ourselves.
Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It's definitely been lots of food for thought, and I think that hiccup got us going on another level as well. So thank you for giving us your time and your effort, as always, definitely getting us on a better positive vibe. So you take care for the rest of the week, and inshallah, we look forward to chatting to you next week, Wednesday, same time.
Exactly. To all our listeners out there, make sure that you feed your body, your mind, your spirit, and your soul with something positive. And the days that you feel dark, down, sad, make sure that you reach out to somebody to feed you with the loving that you're not giving yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, and thank you so much for doing that. Just that this afternoon. You've, I think, definitely fed our minds and our bodies and our souls with really loads of positivity. That's what we'll say. Sister Rukshana Dango, Assalamu alaikum. I'm calling you Sister Rukshana Dango. Look at me. I'm getting so excited chatting to you. I'm even putting my surname into it. You got me that inspired this afternoon. What more can I say? Thank you so much.
Your sister.
It happens. But at least it got me going this afternoon. You've definitely inspired me and I've lifted my spirits. You take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
That was Sister Rukshana Modan. Definitely inspiring us in so many directions. She got me so excited that I even called her my sister. So it goes to show that, just a little bit of a conversation with someone that can actually just throw a bit of those positives at you. It makes such a difference. And of course, you're affirming yourself as well. It uplifts those spirits and it gives you that zest to be able to get through those challenges that we face every single day. But stay with us. We have somebody really inspirational after the break.
This is a paid-for advert by Al Jamaa, calling on the community of Lenasia to vote for Al Jamaa on the